If I make any mistakes in covering this story, opinions, or I leave out any minor parts of the story, please excuse me. This topic is very convoluted, and the story has changed far too many times. It is impossible to follow with absolute precision, and I don't know for sure what every single person involved was thinking 100% of the time. Please enjoy.
Hey, Nicholas the Oreo, we in this shit, son?
In the early 2000s, Chris Hansen's show To Catch a Predator aired on Dateline NBC. Even though it's been 12 years since the show was cancelled, if you logged into YouTube in the beginning of 2019, you would be very surprised at what you're looking at. 2019, the year of the pedophile. This title comes from debunking allegations of the YouTuber Just Destiny to the social climbing disaster that was the #WakeUpYouTube movement by Matt's What It Is. It just seems like less and less qualified people have been taking the wheel of the mystery machine so Scooby and the gang can catch one of those pesky child diddlers. That's where our boy Twoon comes in. Twoon, Charmskull, and Boblax were just some of the people involved in the absolute disaster that unfolded last week called #InstagramWakeUp. The under 21 pedophile takedown task force went on to embarrass themselves and allow for actual criminals to escape with absolutely no consequence. But this is a story for the ages, and I'm getting ahead of myself. This was all by accounts Twoon's odyssey, or even legacy.
Not just Instagram, to be honest, what Discord did, well, I don't want, I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to give Discord too much shit, because I like the platform and I don't want massive changes to happen to their algorithm and stuff, but there should be
well, I mean, if there's pedophiles on the platform, you know.
Twoon, in what can only be described as an attempt to recreate the success of the #WakeUpYouTube movement, coined by Matt's What It Is, created a near identical video on the platform Instagram, right down to the hashtag in the middle of the adpocalypse before Disney has even re-established their ads on the platform. This is a literal parody of the Matt What It Is video.
No, it's obviously not. And I also think, by the way, that Matt What It Is, his message was wrong, but like I said in the video, the intentions are right.
The intention was to fuck creators. He said that live. Boblax reported it, Keemstar retweeted it.
Awesome. That's so awesome right now. That is great. That's great. That hits them where it hurts.
This was done in an attempt to capitalize off the recent success and admittedly to push the blame off of YouTube and onto Instagram.
That I did want YouTube to look good, and I'm pretty sure that every creator can agree with me on the fact that Instagram is way worse than YouTube, and YouTube doesn't get away with anything. So as a YouTube creator, I also did want to support the YouTube community, and that's obviously some of self-gain as well.
Twoon eventually locates what he believes and interprets as a pedophile ring live on Instagram. I won't be showing any of that on this video, as it's better left to professionals. And if you want to see what those professionals look like, I'll leave a link to the stream that is titled Andy Warski and Ethan Ralph Review Child Porn Archives, where they get into the actual content of the Instagram pedophile ring. But once again, I'm getting ahead of myself. With this newfound information, he assembles a team. Like Nick Fury created the Avengers and Amanda Waller created the Suicide Squad, this became the Under 21 Pedophile Takedown Task Force. Now here's a disclaimer. The idea here is to teach. If anybody ever stumbles onto something similar to this, let the following show as what an example of what not to do looks like. Twoon's Twitter gets suspended, and his team of small YouTubers shop the story around to gain some exposure. The intention was allegedly not to shop the story around, but what were they really expecting by placing this on the lap of YouTubers everywhere? Massive YouTubers, all of which, by the way, turned it down. Apparently, it was also being shopped around on Reddit, but one thing led to another, and a porn star named Indigo Eclipse got possession of the story involving child porn, and then enlisted the help of The Ralph Retort, a parolee, and Andy Warski, a coke fiend. Now, there are reports that Boblax handed this off directly to Warski, and that's hilarious, don't get me wrong.
Okay, well, I spoke to Andy last night, alright? Andy told me that Betaflex did give him the information. So I tweeted at Betaflex and I said, good job working with Andy Warski to get this story out. And guess who retweeted it? Andy Warski. Betaflex did. Twitter.
It's on his Twitter. Let me load it up right now.
Twitter. You go to his Twitter right now.
No.
And he's even admitted there was an actual plan that actually existed.
So yeah, we had a specific plan with Andy, and you were mostly in contact with him. I knew it was going on, but I was busy with like another drama when you guys actually discussed everything.
But whether you gave it directly to the coke fiend or you used the porn star as a middleman, it is irrelevant, because at the end of the day, the porn star, the coke fiend, and the parolee fired up a stream to take down the pedophiles. And that's where this story begins to spiral and get very confusing.
Keemstar, you're back.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's gonna say something about Andy. Watch
I would like to just say, if everyone could stop talking for a second, I would just like to say, on record, 100%, I have talked to Andy Worski, and all the information was given to him by Beta Flex. Gave him the information.
I didn't give him
That
it.
is true.
I wasn't in
That
it.
is true.
That's not
That
it.
is
Bullshit.
Take him out. He's lying. Take him out.
Wait.
Yeah, you can get him out. Yeah, get him out. Get him the hell out of here.
Worski was not supposed to go live with the story so soon. In true Worski fashion, like nobody who could have predicted, he essentially stole the story out from directly under them and went live before Twoon was able to release his video, and shocked everyone except me apparently, who called bullshit from the very beginning. However, multiple creators still promoted and even shouted out Andy. The result, as you can imagine, was less than satisfactory. As a result of the stream, many of the pedophiles closed their accounts entirely, and the evidence they had was deleted from the mega upload file, which Twoon explains was cached and can be brought back at any time. We'll store that one for later. It was at this point when Andy Worski declared victory across Twitter, and hours later, Twoon's video was finally released to universal success. Or so we thought.
I do not understand how this shit is up. How the fuck is it up? So let's make clear that this shit shouldn't be up. Just like we had the hashtag YouTube wake up, let's start hashtag Instagram wake up.
So what you're probably thinking is that this story doesn't sound all that bad. I mean, surely, it was shaky and some questionable decisions were made. However, there's a happy ending. Those pedophiles are caught and it's over, right? Well, I wasn't satisfied with that answer, and in the hours to follow, it would seem my suspicions were about to uncover some details that were missing from the original story. Now that I've given you the blanket explanation, let me tell you the actual outcome and explain what else had gone wrong. The op failed, the pedophiles got free, and the only ones who were exposed were the victims. First of all, how many days do you think were spent researching this, planning it out, and executing the op by Twoon and the gang? If you guessed a month, a few weeks, or even a week entirely, you'd be wrong. This was actually done in a grand total of 5 days.
It's been a pretty crazy last 5 days, knowing this whole situation, trying to find the best way to go about it, and unfortunately, some stuff went wrong along the way, but with Twoon's video and how it turned out, I'm pretty sure it went, well.
That's right, the Under 21 squad believed that they had enough evidence to come forward in just 5 short days. Now this draws the obvious question into play: what government agency or physical police department would have gotten back to them so soon, or have rectified this situation that quickly? Well, another member of the team explains that as well.
Yeah, she was basically she helped find out about this in Twoon's Discord server, and she's been helping gather like all the info and everything and doing the reports.
Yeah.
She's basically the bulk of the work behind this.
Yeah, she's been a huge, if there's anyone who's like been in a huge involvement in this besides Twoon himself, it's definitely been Kay here.
And then the whole situation, he got a bunch of people on the call, and we started trying to like gather info on this to send over to the police, and then also send over to Instagram to report on all this. And a couple days into this, we got replies from Instagram basically saying these accounts are fine to stay up. And then we're like, what the fuck? Why is Instagram doing this? And then Twoon's like, I think I'm gonna make a video on this trying to like expose Instagram for letting this shit happen, because it's disgusting. Like Twoon, if you have been paying attention to his channel, he cares a lot, as anyone should, cares a lot about the safety of these girls and this stuff in particular.
Was this sent to the police? Because there's conflicting reports on this.
Okay, well, Kay can explain that, because you're the one who sent the report.
So the reports that we sent, we didn't the girls, or some of the girls involved, we can't know their exact location.
And on their profiles, these girls have their high school names and stuff. Man, there just needs to be one creep who wants to do something.
Some of them did put a high school, but there was only like 1 or 2 out of a lot of, you know, Instagram accounts.
Now, people like Boblax and Charm Skull had been spamming my mentions on Twitter for hours by this point, explaining how they had contacted not only the FBI, but the police. And this is where the story starts to break down after hearing Twoon himself describe exactly what police he contacted.
Or maybe even better, we reported this to the internet police, the ones who are supposed to help with this stuff directly.
That's right, we're talking about the internet police. Essentially just a group of mall cops of the internet that the girl who filed the report wasn't even aware of who they were before she filed it.
Yeah,
there was no location. We can't just ring a country and be like, hey, this girl somewhere in your country is doing this. But we reported it to Internet Watch Foundation, which apparently are supposed to find out these kind of things and contact the right authority.
Okay, so you sent a report to the Watch Foundation. Now, you said you had one location, one school location of one of the girls. Was that nearby police station contacted?
No.
A report. Dear reporter, thank you for your report to the Internet Watch Foundation. We have assessed the materials specified in the report at the time of assessment. Did not find any images that we can reliably determine are images of child sexual abuse. Now, wait a minute. They couldn't find child sexual abuse, correct?
Not to mention, they contacted a UK-based service for an American girl. The internet police, who gave a beautiful response, can be heard here.
We are happy to make a reassessment of the content if new information comes to light. However, at this moment in time, we are unable to take any further action in relation to the report. The IWF does not have the remit or authority from the police and home office to investigate individual internet users. This is currently under the sole remit of the police. We only investigate content that is hosted in the public domain. Therefore, you may actually like to report this information to the police.
It was clear to me now that no police entity was contacted, even though Twoon made absurd statements and even blurted out that he was aware of the girls' high school names, which could have potentially been used to locate a phone number to their local police department. Twoon then goes on to explain why the police aren't to be trusted in the first place and why we need to make this a public outcry. He also touched on the benefits associated.
We did send something to the FBI. One of us at least did, I'm sure, because even the link was still in the thing. There was no response from them, however. Also, CPS didn't send a response, and I'm pretty sure that CPS is from like the authorities.
We sent this to more than just the Internet Watch Foundation as well, right? We sent it to FBI as well.
Well, I would hope so. That's some real authorities were contacted here.
Yeah, they
I
were.
submitted it
We have
to the FBI. I don't think I heard anything back. Oh, I didn't expect to hear anything back from them.
As if something will happen if you actually give it up to the police. Man, people give up millions of things about this to the police and nothing happens. To some degree, it's really important to just have a public outcry about this. Because who the fuck is honestly gonna give a shit if nobody says something?
And if we're making matters worse here, because it's clear we've now reached the level of insanity, they didn't even wait for a reply back from the FBI before they went public with this. So there's no possible way any federal department could have backed up or verified the files at all that were lost. And this leads to my next point, international laws and how many were broken. Twoon admitted to purchasing a folder of child porn. This is in violation of international law. Boblax accidentally shared that someone on the team opened the file, which is in violation of international law. There are accusations that Andy Warski backed up the file onto his desktop, and this is also in violation of international law. But one is important here, because remember, we said the mega folder and all their evidence was gone.
I think the file did get taken down by Mega. I don't know whether it happened before or after this, but I remember the file is like that file is down, but I'm
so
pretty
the evidence
sure
the evidence is gone now, basically.
Yeah, the evidence is gone.
Because nobody had it downloaded because that would be illegal, but now that Mega took it down.
Well, if it was gone before Twoon uploaded his video, there's only one person who could possibly have it. That's right, Twoon literally uploaded his public outcry after all of his evidence was lost. Now follow me here as I struggle not to laugh. Their best case scenario is that Andy Warski has illegal child porn on his computer and broke international law, because their worst case scenario is that he doesn't and they went live with the story after they lost all of the evidence. Now at this point you're probably wondering, if all the proof was gone and no one backed it up and the police were not efficiently contacted, what happened to the pedophiles? Besides Andy and Ralph leaking the victims' names, nobody else will actually see a consequence here. This is because, other than near child porn, as it's called by Boblax, none of these accounts had actual CP on their Instagram. The only proof is what was in the folder that they illegally obtained. That is gone. These guys got wind of Andy's stream and likely did the same exact thing they would have done if Twoon's video came out on time. They deleted all of their evidence and went on their way, likely microwaving their hard drives in the process and destroying any chance for justice to come to these young girls.
Tipster, you're on the air. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how's it going? What I think here is, you know, it's good that you guys contacted the authorities, because that's my understanding. You guys contacted the authorities about this, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
Okay.
we did.
CPS.
So-
I was told
Yeah, go
CPS and FBI were involved.
Okay, so that's
They
good
were.
that you guys got the authorities involved and they're looking into it. Awesome. Here's the problem with exposing it, though. It gives these pedophiles the opportunity to destroy any potentially valuable evidence that they have.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
you guys have a lot of stuff already, but there may be more stuff that they may have destroyed. Now that they know that this is out there, they could be destroying tons of stuff. God knows what's being
Hold on,
destroyed.
but that's the thing, that people brought this up in the I'll bring this up in the chat as well. I really quickly want to bring that up. First of all, let's talk about Discord with that. Discord recently got in trouble for them keeping cached pictures of people just deleting stuff. Instagram delete. I looked it up on Instagram as well. Instagram, if things get deleted, you can still bring it up. We even ourselves can bring stuff up back up with a third party app.
Even if the accounts themselves are cached, there was likely no CP on their accounts, and what they did have was probably not even illegal. Now, speaking of caching files, let's draw back to that point from earlier. Well, this statement is false. You'll hear from YouTuber John Swan exactly why it was.
We're not talking about Instagram. We are talking about the mega folders. Mate, there's hundreds of these mega folders. This cannot be the only one. They've deleted all of those now. 100%. They're all gone. There's no way that you're going to be able to get them again. And I remember your point as well.
Mega saves
you
those
made.
things as well. So, again, like I said,
Sorry? Well,
they
sorry,
keep
can you just
Mega
repeat that?
saves
I
those
missed that.
things as well. So again, like I said, they keep it cached. They
Yeah,
keep it cached as well.
but that isn't incriminating. A link is not incriminating because you need the link to check if that's incriminating.
Wait, what do you
So
mean?
how would you respond
No,
to
I
that?
said they keep it. I said that Mega keeps it cached as well.
No,
so
they
if
don't.
they deleted
That's
it on
wrong.
Mega.
That's incorrect. Mega, everything in Mega is encrypted with end-to-end encryption. Mega can't even see what's inside that folder because it's end-to-end encryption. It's AES 256-bit encryption. It's impossible.
Do you have? All right, okay. Do
That's
you have
literally
proof
on
of
their
that? Can you
website.
explain it?
I
Do you have
work in
proof of
like
that? Can you
I work in
explain it a
coding
little
and
bit
stuff.
more?
This is AES 256-bit encryption.
Can you explain it a little bit more? Can you like show
Yeah,
something?
so
on the
so
screen?
basically, end-to-end encryption works this way. You get a link with a sorry, you get a mega link and you get a key along with that link. That key allows you to unlock this mega link. But the problem is the mega can't actually see this link at all because it's encrypted on both ends. That key allows you to unencrypt that information, but mega doesn't have that key. Only the person that uploaded the mega folder has that key to decrypt that information. So in other words, that the person that shares this mega folder, those people have the key to decrypt this information. Mega does not have the key. So if I go here to a mega link real quick, mega dot, what is it, dot, can't I remember, but there's like a URL and then there's a key at the end of that. You'll see it. There's like a whole convoluted mess of characters and that allows you to decrypt that information. The problem with this is that the mega can't see this folder without having that key and they don't have that key. By you making this video, you are facilitating, you're allowing these pedophiles to basically go ahead and take down all that information. Now they don't have the information, they don't have the evidence anymore. Mega hasn't got the folder, they haven't got it cached, it's gone.
So now we can honestly say at this point, the pedophiles got away. The victims' names were exposed, and I believe it's safe to talk about the players here because they are grossly underqualified to be working on a story this big. Whose fault was this? That's a question ringing in a lot of ears as the parties involved try desperately to bury this blunder.
Someone let him know he can automatically join in here because we need to hear from him.
Yeah. By the way, this is Twoon's story. Like, Twoon brought me into the call and wanted to like help me spread the word about this and like deal with this and find out everything about this. Like, this is Twoon's video, Twoon's thing. So I can only speak on someone else's behalf for so long.
All right.
Twoon's been here. He's just not joining callers. Does Twoon even know how to use the internet, bro?
What is Twoon doing? I don't know. Twoon's having issues right now, but we need to hear from him like right now. Oh my gosh.
Personally, Twoon, I think you should take responsibility for wanting to have the video up before the FBI dealt with the situation fully.
Well, if you ask the kids, they would have you believe it was Twoon himself who needs to take a majority of the blame. But Twoon would have you believe that it was a team effort.
Personally, Twoon, I think you should take responsibility for wanting to have the video up before the FBI dealt with the situation fully.
Well, Boblax, actually, you're
that's good.
Boblax,
I never said that wasn't good.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
yeah. And also, by the way, yeah, exactly. I mean, you were involved as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you were involved in this as well.
I thought that was the plan, though. I thought the plan was
but you wanted the video up as well.
Yeah, I want the video up.
That's unfair towards me, dude. Hold on. No, that's unfair towards me, man. What?
Okay, so Bublex, like, you're kind of throwing Twoon under the bus. Like, I think you gotta like take responsibility.
I'll take responsibility for some stuff.
I mean, like, all right, look. So it's like, no, you didn't make the video, but you were like, I mean, I've seen you on Twitter, like you're so, like you were really
passionate. Yeah, I'm passionate about.
Like, you're passionate, and I'm passionate about it too, which is why I'm like confused as to why it's like you know, it's like you're publicizing it and like promoting it, and it's like.
Well, I'm just going to come out and say what a lot of us are thinking. Twoon, Charm Skull, Boblax, Augie RFC, Speedy, and anyone else involved, you are not qualified to play police officer or FBI agent. Next time, go to the police and mind your own damn fucking business. This is not a tool to grow your channel, these are people's lives, and while this whole situation is hilarious, when reading it back, people were affected and YouTube as a whole needs to stop doing this. RuneScape Glory and Gold was not a pedophile. Just Destiny is not a nonce. That's What It Is grossly oversold the comments section, and these children don't belong playing cops and robbers in a public park, let alone stopping fuckos online. Whether Warski got his hands on this or not, you kids would have fucked it up, so don't blame him. As far as I know, the only proven allegation on Warski that's confirmed is the fact that he's guilty of you retards trusting him.
So yeah, we had a specific plan with Andy, and you were mostly in contact with him. I knew it was going on, but I was busy with like another drama when you guys actually discussed everything.
Now let's talk about Twoon here. The genius who thinks the police were contacted that weren't, the genius who knew how to contact them but didn't, the genius who banks on the cache memory but has no concept of what it was, the genius who blatantly didn't understand the That's What It Is scenario and tried to replicate it, the genius who tried to pull this entire thing off in 5 days, and the genius who admitted he did it for views and loves a pat on the back.
The argument is that you should have brought this to the police and then just moved on, and that basically you're just doing this for views to cash in on the That's What It Is situation.
Who brought this up?
Well, I think it's an argument Tommy C brought up. I've seen that argument thrown multiple times, that this was a matter purely for officials, for police, for the professionals, and not for a YouTuber. And that by bringing it up, you're basically just trying to like bring in the views for your name. What do you have to say about that?
All right, first of all, I've never claimed that there was nothing of self-gain involved in this. Obviously, to some degree, if you put so much effort into something, there's gonna be some form of self-gain into it. A thank you from people or something like that. That's always something that people want to get back from it. But on top of that, as if something will happen if you actually give it up to the police. Man, people give up millions of things about this to the police and nothing happens. To some degree, it's really important to just have a public outcry about this. Because who the fuck is honestly gonna give a shit if nobody says something? All the shit you do is about getting fucking views on the internet, man. First of all, it's a business to some degree, and you're not gonna report on something that you know is not gonna grow, because... Is he watching, by the way?
Well, I had a chance to sit down and chat with him. You were promoting your social media. You're very mad at Instagram, yet the first 2 links of your social media were Instagram links to follow you on that platform. If you're really upset about Instagram, I don't think that would be the best fucking platform to promote. On your video, you promoted you said, oh, by the way, you can hit me up at all my social media, which is what everybody does in these big, massive exposed videos on child porn rings. And the first 2 links you used were promoting your own Instagram. Now, I don't know. I just think that's a little crazy, don't you think?
How is that
the platform
crazy?
really
I mean, just because I'm calling out a platform does not mean that I don't care about that platform, or that I don't think.
No, but you obviously don't care about the children, so I just assumed you didn't care about the platform.
How does that? Okay, bring up some actual arguments for that.
Bring up some actual arguments. The story got at Andy Warski's hand. All the accounts are deleted. The fucking files and upon files are in microwaves burning right now. You've run this ship off the fucking dude. The boat is sinking and you are fucking running it, dude.
We did not give it to Andy Warski. How many times are we gonna have to fucking say this?
No, it just happened to land in his lap. He tripped, fell, and landed in his pocket, bro. Apparently,
give it.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
Augie, have you explained it yet? Augie, have you explained it yet? Somehow there was a group.
The information got to Indigo White, who's then sent it to Andy Warski. Am I wrong?
Yes. So a porn star made a group chat with Ethan Ralph and Andy Warski. That's what happened here. The information with the fucking child porn got in the hands of a porn star somehow, and it miraculously fucking made its way to Andy Warski, who then ran your boat right off the fucking thing into the ground.
Twoon does not care about the kids. Keem, I had a fucking conversation with one of them for 4 hours straight. For 4 hours straight.
Twoon cares about this situation a lot. That's why he made a video on.
He cared about it so much that he admitted he did it for views earlier in the stream.
He could have made a video on anything else.
I did it for a lot of things. There's a lot of
that pat on the back must have felt really good, right? You enjoying the pat on the back?
Yeah, honestly, I do think that it's nice to see people happy with this being exposed. I like getting a thank you back.
There's a lot of happy people.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure that you like getting a thank you as well for doing something like that. But that doesn't mean that you don't care about the message. Fuck.
Dude, you made a parody of the Matt What It Is video. Let's call a spade here. This is a literal parody of the Matt What It Is video.
No, it's obviously not. And I also think, by the way, that Matt What It Is, his message was wrong. But like I said in the video, the intentions are right.
The intention was to fuck creators. He said that live. Boblax reported it. Keemstar retweeted it.
Yeah, that was.
So, dude, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. None of this adds up. These guys are trying to throw you under the bus, and you're letting them do it. Silence. Dead air. Whoa, Kemosabi.
No.
I think Fraser wanted.
Yeah, let's try.
Einaber wants in.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'll swap with Einaber. You guys have a great night.
Take care, Eudora.
Throughout the hours leading up to the damage control stream, I was told that wait for Twoon, wait for Twoon's video, and everything will make sense. And we waited for Twoon's video. Other than the things I've already picked apart periodically through this video, there's also the glaring fact that he edits the video like your run-of-the-mill commentary video. Is this a video on a child porn ring, or did I Am Alex just expose Rick and Morty? The crazy jump cuts and awkward transitions are insane. This doesn't recommend a serious take at all, it's just a man screaming at a camera for what looks to be fake emotional outrage. Then I looked at his backlog. 4 videos in the last 2 weeks, including this one, were about the subject. A 5th was called Keemstar is a Pedo 100% Exposed. All of these thumbnails clickbait and sexualize children to even make one appear that she isn't wearing a shirt. This guy is not qualified to be busting pedophiles. And how in God's name was this guy's channel not a clear preemptive indication that he'd fuck this entire thing up? How am I the only one who even questioned this? Twoon, if you're watching this, you should change the name of your video to #SaveThePedophiles, because that's basically all you've accomplished. And if you thought I was done there, I'm not. There is still so many more things to discuss here. Maybe there is hope for Twoon and the gang, because Josh from Kiwi Farms called in for their damage control stream and offered a different scenario.
Twoon, you're on the air.
Hey.
Did you happen to hear Kiwi Farms talk about how this whole Instagram thing was most likely a honeypot by the government to bait pedophiles?
I did not hear about that, but who said that?
This was a mistake. They made a mistake, a really bad.
It certainly looks like that. It certainly looks like that.
The main issue is that these things on Discord and shit, they're honeypots. They're run by the government. They use it to bait pedophiles into sharing stuff, and then they dox them through the network infrastructure. Going in and telling everybody, oh, we're watching.
So you're saying the link that Twoon had was a honeypot?
Probably, yeah. I mean, yeah. So going in and, you know, saying, oh, we're looking at them, we're watching them, we know who they are, and having them scatter and delete everything, that doesn't just destroy evidence, it breaks up the honeypot. So there's a pretty good chance that everybody that they've really pissed off a number of agencies. As far as the law is concerned, it's a massive fuck up. You don't want to fuck with it. It's really bad. You want to delete it if you see it.
Okay, so this was a honeypot that everyone fell for and put in the wrong hands.
Maybe this entire pedophile ring was a honeypot by the government used to catch dumb pedophiles. Akajan points out that if this was a honeypot and a trap to catch pedophiles, it's hilarious that the only people it did catch were Andy and Ralph. This offers the alternative opinion that the kids just disrupted an active government investigation instead of allowing pedophiles to escape, which is still pathetic, but slightly less so. Now, I've played a lot of callers from this show, and all of them were negative so far. It's only right that I play the one caller who called in and defended Twoon.
And, you know, a lot of them actually said, oh, they only saw the stream. What was the guy's name who got the information? And Nick, isn't it?
Nick Dioria?
Nick, that's it. I think everything, you know, was as everyone says, everything was very rushed because of Nick, and people aren't taking into account that. I think Twoon put his video up because Nick, you know, bollocked everything up. And
he's talking about Andy. He's talking about Andy.
Andy, that's it. Sorry, Andy.
I think yeah, I was gonna say.
I can't believe you've done this. Why are you? I'm prosecuting other people. Goddamn.
That's right, guys. That one's my fault. Apparently, I was the mastermind behind the entire thing. Although, it was just an error on his part, it does go to show how stupid this was when guys like Tipster and Keemstar took our side. This was dead right out of the gate, and no Andy Warski shenanigans had anything to do with it. As I once told David Sherratt, Twoon, you're better suited reviewing scented candles on your channel. Leave this stuff to the professionals. Now that's the story of pedophile hunters. Hopefully we've all learned a valuable lesson today, and this video will serve as a reminder to people like Twoon and Blowblacks that you aren't as smart as you think you are. And for all intents purposes, Blowblacks is more upset that Tommy C was right than the pedophiles getting away. If you'd like to hear Blowblacks talk about this situation for 30 minutes in detail and embarrass himself greatly while putting his friends in legal danger, the description will have a link for that. If you'd like to go check out Twoon's original video and laugh at it, the description will have a link for that. If you'd like to see Andy Warski and Ethan Ralph review a child porn archive on stream and sabotage any chance of an investigation, well, the description has a link for that. If you'd like to watch a 2-hour and 40-minute train wreck where these kids desperately try to defend themselves, the description will have a link for that. I would like to leave off on one more note. It's known that me and Ethan Ralph have had our fair share of differences, but I do not believe that he opened that file or had it installed on his hard drive. I don't think he's dumb enough to risk going back to jail. And that's coming from someone who exposed him for having a doxing server. If we take the cokehead, the cop puncher, and the porn star out of this equation, we have a group of kids who had no fucking idea what they were doing, attempting to play to catch a predator. I don't mean to lay into these guys and make a wave of hate go their way, but everyone needs to know that we cannot allow people like this to fuck up on this level. It is clear to me that the parties involved haven't learned a goddamn thing either.
Twoon got suspended on Twitter, and there were some people on Instagram who were making fun of it, and some people in Twoon's Discord server saw that and was looking at the people who were like happy that he got suspended, and a lot of them were like these e-girl, like what they call themselves, e-thought accounts on Instagram, where they're like very young children doing like sexual stuff on Instagram, and then obviously the pedophiles who support them in the comments. And then they started looking into it, and they found one account who was sharing on his Instagram story mention of a mega folder, which he was ending up selling to basically make profit off of CP. And then the whole situation, he got a bunch of people on the call, and we started trying to like gather info on this to send over to the police, and facilitating an environment that's not good for these girls, where they're like selling their underage nudes and all that. And that is what the video is about, and that's what we were gonna make the YouTube videos about, not the.
No, but that's not what the question.
When you
was.
report,
you said that somebody opened the folder. Who opened the folder?
I'm not saying that.
Somebody did, and then you lied on Augie's stream then.
Yeah, that's pretty much what did happen. So basically,
wait, so you opened the folder?
No, it's not. You opened the folder?
I didn't specifically open the folder.
Who opened the folder?
Who did? So you're saying that someone did?
I'm not gonna say that publicly. They want to be anonymous.
Oh, so they were lying then. So someone did open the folder.
Somebody did lie.
Because on the stream, it was said that nobody opened the folder. You guys just assumed that was in it because based off of what the file names were.
No. Okay, so. Fuck, I'm off track now. What?
Are you not? Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
That's how you know you fucked up. I never threatened to call the police. I should have though. I never threatened to call the police. I should have though. I never threatened to call the police. I should have though. Exposed, 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 exposed. Or maybe even better, we reported this to the internet police. Exposed. The ones who are supposed to help with this stuff directly. Exposed, exposed, you're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Exposed, 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 exposed. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my god, expose you. Exposed, 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 exposed. And on the profiles, these girls have their high school names and stuff. Man, there just needs to be one creep who wants to do something.
So why couldn't you just use that high school name to get a location to find a local police department and report them yourselves? Oh, right. There's not a lot of views in that.
You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my god, expose you. Exposed, exposed, exposed,